Hey buddy, you lost?
Your time has come!
Nice try, but this is the carpool lane.
Oh no, it's him! Florence! Go, go, go! He's coming! He's getting closer! Don't look back!
Flynn, would you stop for death?
I wouldn't even stop for a hitchhiker. Besides, Death is a serial killer.
Hi everyone, today we are discussing one of Emily Dickinson's most famous poems, Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Dickinson is one of the most influential poets in American literature, known for her unique style, innovative use of language, and exploration of themes like death, immortality, nature, and the self. Although she lived a reclusive life, her poetry captures universal experiences with intense clarity and emotional power. This poem was written around 1863 and published in 1890 after her death. The poem reflects Dickinson's fascination with death and immortality, presented through a calm and contemplative tone. This poem is my personal favorite Dickinson poem.
I will begin with this reading. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves in immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove, at recess in the rain. We passed the fields of gazing grain, we passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us, the dews drew, quivering and chill, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only told. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, to centuries, and yet, though shorter than the day, I first surmised the horse's head, where toward eternity.
Let's look at what is happening in this poem. The speaker cannot stop for death. As like most of us, she's just too busy living her life. However, death was kind enough to stop for her. The speaker, death, and immortality all take a slow carriage ride together. Just as death was civil to her, she put aside her labor and leisure, suggesting an acceptance of death. The carriage ride stops by a school, then fields, and finally the speaker's grave, all representing various stages of life. For the speaker, time is distorted. The journey takes centuries yet feels shorter than a day.
This poem uses a common meter, meaning that it uses an iambic stress pattern with alternating lines of 6 and 8 syllables. The rhyme scheme is A-B-C-B, and Dickinson employs a number of slant rhymes. By structuring the poem as a journey on a carriage ride, she uses symbolism to reflect on the various stages of life along the journey. The carriage represents the vehicle taking the speaker from life to death and ultimately to eternity. The school, grain fields, and setting sun symbolize different stages of life. Childhood, maturity, and the finality of death. The children playing in the fields of grain also suggest that continuation of life after the speaker is gone. The house described as the swelling of the ground represents a grave, subtle yet unmistakable. The gossamer gown reflects that the speaker's clothing is light and delicate. She is dressed for burial, not for travel.
Dickinson personifies death as a courteous, almost gentlemanly figure. Instead of a terrifying or violent force, death appears as a calm, patient guide. This unusual portrayal challenges conventional depictions of death as something to be feared. Dickinson's careful choice of words, such as kindly, civility, and pause, conveys a sense of acceptance and calmness. The deliberate understatement in describing death and the grave reflects a philosophical approach to mortality. Likewise, the tone of the poem is calm and measured, suggesting an acceptance of death. Along with the speaker and death, immortality is a passenger in the carriage, suggesting that the journey is not just toward death, but also toward an eternal afterlife. The final stanza confirms this, as the speaker reflects that centuries feel shorter than the single day of the journey. Dickinson's meditation on death is intertwined with the concept of an eternal afterlife.
Because I Could Not Stop for Death exemplifies Emily Dickinson's mastery of poetic form and her contemplation of life's most universal experience, death. By personifying death and depicting the journey as calm and almost genteel, Dickinson offers a nuanced, serene view of what is often a terrifying subject. The poem leaves readers reflecting on their own relationship with mortality and the possibility of eternity. We believe that this is one of the greatest poems ever written. And that's it for Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you next time.
Hey, Emily, we ride in a horse-drawn carriage. Come on, it'll be fun. All right, I'm coming.